Hello, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to the Parkinson's Day Awareness event at the PPRC. My name is Samantha Schaffner, and I'm a research associate in the Apple Cresswell Research Group here at the PPRC. And I'm really excited for today's celebration of World Parkinson's Day. As we begin, I'd first like to gratefully acknowledge that our clinic is located on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Musqueam people. And I'd also like to acknowledge that those of you joining us online today are joining from many different places, near and far, and encourage you to acknowledge the traditional owners and caretakers of those lands. This year, we're really excited to be hosting our educational talks in a hybrid format. We have some of you joining us here in person at UBC, as well as online, and we'll be focused around the theme of living well with Parkinson's disease. For those of you who are joining us here in person today, we're also going to be having an art workshop starting at 11:30 a.m., just a little bit after this webinar, and that'll be outside this room here. So do stick around, get your creative juices flowing, and if you're feeling hungry at all, we also have a bake sale table in our clinic lobby and some information booths there too. All the proceeds from our bake sale are going to go toward fundraising for grocery gift cards for people living with Parkinson's. And we have an exciting hour planned this morning with talks that are further going to be exploring our theme of living well with Parkinson's. First, we're featuring a session on nutrition in Parkinson's by our registered dietitian, Melanie De Silva. And we also have some overview of programming that's available through the BC Brain Wellness Initiative and Parkinson Society BC, who are special guests here with us today. Since we have a very full hour, we won't be answering specific questions during the webinar, but we will be providing each speaker's contact information if you'd like to get in touch. And those of you that are here with us at UBC today can stick around to ask the presenters questions afterwards as well. And the chat will be monitored for those of you on Zoom if you have any comments. So today's session is going to be recorded and then posted on our website afterwards, parkinsons.ubc.ca. And as a friendly reminder for those on Zoom, please keep yourself muted so we can avoid any background distractions. So before we kick off our first talk, I would like to introduce Dr. Silke Appel-Cresswell. And in addition to being an accomplished researcher and practitioner, Dr. Appel-Cresswell is also the director of the PPRC and the BC Brain Wellness Program. Her research interests lie in lifestyle interventions for Parkinson's disease, including exercise and nutrition, as well as the role of the gut microbiome and non-motor symptoms in Parkinson's. And Dr. Appel-Cresswell runs numerous clinical trials with the goal of improving the lives of people living with Parkinson's now and to find new treatments for a brighter future. So please welcome Dr. Cresswell.
Well, a very warm welcome to all of you here and of course online as well. And a big shout out to the team here and then also to Parkinson's BC who are here and we're celebrating together. Why are we here? Why do we need a Parkinson's Awareness Day? Well, anybody who's here can answer that question better than anyone else, but the reality is that we are still searching for a medication that would be a cure or at least a slowing down of progression. And whilst we are doing that search, and there's a lot of research going on, including here, there are actually things that everybody can do, lifestyle interventions that improve function now and also in the future. And that is the exciting thing. This is exercise and healthy nutrition, being cognitively active, being socially active. So everybody who is here is doing exactly that, are not just remedies for the current time, but they also give protection going forwards. So for example, if we look at big studies that look at healthy nutrition, that look at exercise, there is quite a bit of correlational evidence now to suggest that it is doing more exercise and eating healthier is associated with a lower risk of Parkinson's, a later onset of Parkinson's, slower progression, and more longevity, so living longer with a condition. There's a particular study that I always like to quote that was done in the US with well over 100,000 people who were followed for over 30 years. And the bottom line was the people who were in the top quarter for doing exercise And the people who were in the top quarter for eating healthily did much better in the long run than anybody else. So with healthy eating, top quarter, you could reduce the risk of dying during that study, which was many decades long. So that is why this was a relevant outcome, by about 30%. With exercise, 40%. And if you were both eating well and you're doing exercise, you were 66% more likely to still be alive at the end of this decades-long study. Now, that wasn't an intervention. And we need to do those trials, those interventional trials, and we are doing these trials here and now, and these are often donor funded. So our own community is believing in this and funding those projects. But in addition, what is really quite interesting, we're looking at industry-funded trials, and there are numerous trials now that are coming out, and they are looking at mechanisms like, for example, lowering inflammation. And this is exactly what exercise and nutrition can do. They lower inflammation. So the same mechanisms, and there are numerous mechanisms with both exercise and nutrition that we're tapping into when we're exercising or eating healthily, those same isolated mechanisms are now being investigated to essentially be available in a pill format. Now that's down the line, but this, I think, lends even more weight to what we're doing in everyday life, because it is things like inflammation that are really important to tackle. So without further ado, we're actually going to dive right into it. And it's my great pleasure to introduce Melanie Da Silva to you. She's one of our dietitians in the team. She is both a clinician, so she is seeing patients, but she also is a key member of our research team in our several studies who are looking at exercise and particularly nutrition. So Melanie, if you want to come up and take it away.
Thank you, Dr. Cresswell. Good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to see everybody here today, both in person and online. So thank you all for coming out. So yes, I'm Melanie Da Silva, one of the registered dietitians here with the BC Brain Wellness Program. Today, I'll be reviewing how a dietitian can fit into someone's care team to support living well with Parkinson's. So first, I want to ensure everyone knows what a dietitian is, as many people don't. So basically, registered dietitians, or RDs, as we're sometimes known, are experts in nutrition. We have completed a 5-year degree in dietetics, including a year-long supervised internship or practicum. We must meet these educational requirements, complete a national exam, and maintain ongoing professional development to obtain and keep our registration. We are regulated by the College of Health and Care Professionals of British Columbia under the Health Professions Act. RDs provide evidence-based nutrition advice to aid in the management of chronic disease and support healthy eating in our clients. We can work in various settings, including hospitals, public health, community nutrition programs, and research. So dietitians can be called nutritionists. However, if anyone didn't know, the term nutritionist actually isn't a regulated term in BC. So anyone can actually call themselves that. They may not actually have much education, and they won't be regulated, and they're not actually required to be current on evidence or even follow evidence-based practice. So just as an extra little FYI, there is a difference between a dietitian and a nutritionist, at least in BC. So how does diet fit into living well with Parkinson's? So there is a reciprocal relationship between diet and symptoms. So they basically each affect the other. So Parkinson's symptoms can affect dietary composition and food intake through a variety of factors. So we can see changes in capacity for things like grocery shopping and preparing meals, from changes in endurance to coordination. We can also see changes in actual eating, so chewing and swallowing ability. We can also see changes in smell and taste, along with reward processing. So this is very important for how we experience enjoyment from our meals. Changes to bowel function and regularity are also very common to see. In fact, constipation and slower gut transit time can affect 80 to 90% of people with Parkinson's. So gut dysfunction is often one of the earlier symptoms in Parkinson's disease, with constipation being present in over 80% of people when motor symptoms start to appear. So beyond being uncomfortable and sometimes even painful, constipation is also linked with faster progression of cognitive deficits, anxiety, and depression. So it's very important. It's a symptom that's very important to address. This and all the symptoms that I previously mentioned can impact appetite, food preference, and subsequent food choice. So dietary changes can help with constipation management, but they can also do more. So observational studies have shown an association between different dietary patterns and specific food groups to symptom severity. So dietary pattern may affect disease progression and mortality rate. So diet really can have a significant impact on how well you feel day to day, but also your long-term functioning, much like Dr. Cresswell was mentioning. So I'm sure everyone is now wondering, so what should people with Parkinson's be eating? So with the amount of research in this area to date, there are currently no consensus recommendations on a particular diet for Parkinson's. And again, as Dr. Cresswell mentioned, our lab is currently trying to answer some of these questions to really better understand if there is a superior dietary pattern. As of right now, I would say starting with the general guidelines of Canada's Food Guide is a great starting place. So the emphasis, fruits, vegetables, keeping well hydrated, but really overall balance. There's other great principles like eating with others and not following a restrictive diet. These are great foundational concepts that are highly relevant to Parkinson's outcomes. So beyond those foundational concepts, a dietitian can help you fine-tune your diet. So making dietary changes can really sometimes feel quite overwhelming. So there's lots of advice and recommendations circulating out there. Unfortunately, not all of them are credible or even helpful. So we can be a resource to help you navigate it all. So dietitians can not only debunk some of those dietary claims, but can provide dietary strategies to help with that symptom management. So again, that constipation and other items that I discussed earlier. We can also help you develop eating strategies and schedules specific to you to allow your medication to work as effectively as possible and help minimize its side effects. We can translate the latest dietary evidence into streamlined practical strategies that align with your lifestyle, household dynamic, time availability, your food access, your income, and so on. Overall, we can really support you to find dietary balance and obtain a greater quality of life. We want to work with you and have you really take the lead for defining what living well means to you. So how do you find us? So you can access our services through the Brain Wellness Program. So Elisa will get into the program offerings in more detail shortly. But otherwise, through them, we offer free one-to-one counseling sessions for people with Parkinson's disease. So both myself and Yolanda Wang, the other dietitian here, we offer these sessions virtually. You can find the self-referral form under our class tab on the Brain Wellness Program website. So if you're on the website under our classes, the Food Nutrition Program tab, then the referral form will be under there. We also offer regular nutrition classes through the Brain Wellness Program with the support of Deanna, who's actually hosting our Zoom today. But otherwise, I just want to say these classes currently aren't Parkinson's specific, but we do focus on brain health and healthy aging. We continue to expand our curriculum and build our class content based on feedback. You can join us for regular cook-along classes with nutrition information incorporated throughout. We love that we can provide these opportunities to give hands-on examples of the nutrition recommendations that we do promote, and we can also answer your questions at the same time. Overall, we aim to foster social connection, food literacy skills, and improve nutrition status through food and information sharing. Another way to engage with us is through our research opportunities. So we are actively recruiting for a few different studies. One I'll just highlight here as an example is the PD Diet Pilot Study. It's an 18-month study for people with Parkinson's. It includes regular one-to-one dietitian sessions. We also do those group cooking classes to support people to find a bit of community, also help build up recipe collections. We also will be providing monthly grocery vouchers, so free groceries. Overall, though, you get to contribute to the knowledge building around how diet can really influence Parkinson's outcomes. So please do get in touch with us if you're interested. Sam will be talking more again later on the research sides of things, as well as how to get in touch with us. So with that, thank you all for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the talks.
Thank you so much, Melanie. You gave us some great food for thought there. And now I'm really excited to introduce our next speaker, who is Elisa Hashimoto. Elisa is a program manager for the BC Brain Wellness Program, and she joined the Brain Wellness Program in 2022 while completing her Bachelor of Science degree at UBC in Integrated Science, specializing in physiology and food nutrition and health. Elisa has a keen interest in health promotion and views health from multiple perspectives, including the importance of diet and exercise. So please welcome Elisa, who will tell us all about the BC Brain Wellness Program.
Great. Thank you, Sam, for the introduction, and thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Elisa, as Sam mentioned, and I'll be presenting about the BC Brain Wellness Program to provide an overview of our program and how to get involved if you are interested. So firstly, the BC Brain Wellness Program, as mentioned here, we are an evidence-informed lifestyle-based intervention program to really support and improve quality of life of individuals living with chronic brain conditions, their care partners, and any healthy agers. So this does include individuals with Parkinson's disease, but we are also open to other conditions and also general healthy agers as well. So I'd like to start off with about some of our unique features that we offer in our program, specifically the 3 pillars that we offer with program delivery, research, and the education piece. But today I'll really be focusing on the program delivery and what we have to offer. So first, we are an ongoing program in the long term, which means that we're able to reflect the reality of lifelong conditions in aging, allowing to offer more significant improvements throughout the life course rather than the shorter courses that are currently offered in other programs. We are a hybrid program, meaning that we are able to reach across the province, reducing the geographic barriers, and for anyone to be able to join from their comfort of our own home. Our classes are mostly group-based, which means that we're able to foster that community, like Melanie has mentioned. And we do include care partners and healthy agers as well in the same class, which means that we are able to move from reaction to prevention and really bring that in and be able to have that community of inclusivity. Currently, our exercise classes are all based on function rather than disease labels, which means that you may have people living with Parkinson's disease, also in the same class with people who had stroke, and also their care partners, for example. The registration for our program is pretty easy. We're done by a self-referral process, which means that you do not have to go through the traditional healthcare route in order to register. You can start as early as tomorrow if you'd like to. And currently we are free, thank you to our generous donors, and we have been able to offer this programming for the past 5 years with that, which means that we're able to reduce the financial barriers that typically comes with living with certain conditions. So now I'll be moving on to the specifics of our program. So here's an overview of the different programming that we currently offer. It's split mainly into 4 different categories. So the first one is our exercise programming. Then we also have quite a bit of range of creative and expressive programming. We have care partner specific program. And finally, we have some additional projects and special initiatives as well. So I'll go dive deeper into all of these specific categories. So firstly, for our exercise classes, how we begin is that we do provide a one-on-one initial safety screening first when joining the program, which means that the physiotherapy student will be able to assess you for about an hour-long virtual assessment in order to hear about your goal settings, why you're coming into the program, what you're hoping to achieve, and also for them to conduct some functional outcome measures. So these are things to ensure that we can recommend a suitable exercise classes for you and for any thing that you can do outside of the class as well to continue living actively. So once you go through the one-on-one safety exercise assessment, then you'll be straight into 4 different levels of exercise classes where we offer using this MAPS framework. So the MAPS is an acronym. So the first one is multimodal exercise, which means that we offer exercise class in different modality, including aerobic, strength-based, balance, and such. We are an adaptable exercise program, which means that we're able to offer different options. So typically our classes, you have a choice of modifying it based on your comfort and also where you're at with your function. Our exercise program is person-centered, which means that we're able to give specific recommendations during the one-on-one assessment for all of you individually. And finally, our program really values safety. So we do have the safety assessment, but also we do have many volunteers in all of our exercise classes to support you. Currently, our classes have both virtual and in-person option that are offered. So the in-person one is on campus, and then virtually you can join anywhere as long as you're in BC. And then finally, we do have an opportunity for follow-up assessment. So you can get reassessed anytime you feel like throughout the course of the progression, if you want to reevaluate which class that would be appropriate for you and if you have any physical health concern there. Next on is our creative expressive program. So similar to the exercise program, these are offered in a group classes, but it's a little bit more on a small scale. So class can range from anywhere from about 8 participants to about 30 to 40 participants in a class. And we have various range of classes that are listed on your right side. So we have some crafting class, music, nutrition, like Melanie has mentioned, gardening, improv, writing, and many more. We also have some kind of group classes that incorporate features of art therapy or some of more group discussion-based things such as pain reprocessing therapy. And we also have mindfulness class as well. Next is the Care Partner specific program. So our care partners are able to join any of the classes that I've mentioned already, but we do also have specific programming for our care partners in a monthly workshop series format. So first, during the first session of the month, we introduce a new guest speaker from various background to really support and educate and broaden the care partners toolbox to for a coping strategy. And then this is then followed in a discussion-based format in the following week where they are able to talk about any thoughts amongst the groups based on what they have learned in the previous week and any additional thoughts that they might have to share within the group. Next, I wanted to highlight a couple of the initiatives that we have out of our special projects. So the first one that I really love personally is the Creative Collective. This is a great chance for our Brain Wellness program community to get together to share any artwork that they have produced, either during class or outside of class. We like to highlight these range of works, and then these are actual real examples from our program participants. So as you can see, we have quite a range of modalities like pottery, paintings, photography, poetry, recipe, and even gardening arrangements. Our expression can really offer a support system that honors feelings and emotions while letting us use our brains in new ways. So they're able to practice mental flexibility through the form of art. And this project really highlights the importance of art in brain wellness. And we hope to encourage more participants to use art as a form of healthy expression, relaxation, coping, and growth. Okay. Another project is the Intergenerational Storytelling Project, which is an amazing way for participants to connect with someone from a different generation. So how this works is each senior participant gets matched one-on-one to a student from UBC typically, where the student will be conducting an interview through Zoom over the span of a few weeks to really get to know the senior participant. And at the end of the project term, the student will be compiling all of the stories and the photos that were shared by the participant in order to create a hard book copy that the participants will be able to keep that really encapsulates all of their memories and stories. And really through this conversation, both the students and the participants are able to share their thoughts and connect across generation. As part of our educational initiative, we also offer monthly webinar series to our participants as well as for the general public. So these things can include our Wellness Wednesday series, which are common health topics that we feature that our participants in our community might be interested to learn to have kind of tangible takeaway that they can incorporate into their day-to-day life. We also have a more research-focused seminar called the Research Seminar Series, where we'll be inviting various researchers and UBC labs to present on any innovative research that's going on relevant to brain health and various conditions. Okay. And before I end off, I did want to share some of the comments that we have received from our program participants. These comments are also, I know it's a little bit hard to see, we are upstairs in our booth if you're in person, where we do have some hand copies that has all of the participant codes. If you are interested, you can also check out there. But I can read a couple of them out. So the first one I'll be reading. I always feel empowered to push myself and really lean into the encouragement I feel in each and every class. It would be an understatement to say anything except that this program has transformed my life. And this is really few of the many feedbacks that we have received and many participants that we are able to reach. And I'm personally really grateful for the program and then for everyone to have benefited from the community that we were able to create here. So finally, here are some QR codes if you're here person. Also, you can go to the website that Melanie has shared as well to join our program. As I mentioned, it's a self-referral process, nice and easy. So you can go to our website. If you have any difficulties or have questions, you can always reach us via phone or by email that is listed down there, brain.wellness@ubc.ca, and then we'll be happy to welcome you in. And if you're interested in any volunteer opportunity, we do have some opportunity as well here. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Elisa, for giving us a flavor of the Brain Wellness Program. Really appreciate all that you do to support our community. And there's a little bit of something for everyone if you're interested. Now that we've heard more about the benefits beyond just nutrition, of exercise, creative expression, and all of that, it's time to get out of our seats a little bit and have our exercise break. I'm really pleased to introduce Michelle McCarthy next, who's a physiotherapist here at the UBC Movement Disorders Clinic, and she's going to lead us through a short exercise break. And Michelle's been working as a physiotherapist since graduating in the UK in 1997 and has worked with clients with neurological conditions across the continuum of care for the majority of her career. And she's been working at the Movement Disorders Clinic here since 2017 and feels very lucky to be a part of our client care team and to be able to promote the importance of exercise for brain health. So without further ado, please welcome Michelle.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Hopefully you're able to hear me okay. I think you should be able to see me soon. Yeah. Okay. So people can choose to sit, they can stand. We'll just start sitting first of all. So just to take a moment, just to kind of ground your feet on the floor, maybe come to the edge of your seat a little bit to help you come and sit up nice and tall. I'm just going to take a couple of deep breaths in and out. So a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. We're now going to raise our hands up. We're going to give a big stretch up. Open our arms up. Sorry if my voice got a little loud there as I got closer. Be careful not to hit your partners in here or at home. And again, another one, big stretch up and open. And one more. Big stretch up and open. Okay, so now we're going to start a little bit of movement. So for those people that are wanting to sit, we're going to first of all start off with a little bit of marching. So we're going to march on the spot. If you'd like to stand, you're welcome to. Just please make sure that you're safe to do so. And if you need to hold on to any support, you have it there. So we're going to make a start. So we're going to do marching steps. So nice and big. Getting those arms moving, nice high steps. Excellent. Fantastic. Careful of knees on the desk space. Give yourself some space. So now what we're going to do, we're going to keep marching. We're going to take a wide step out and then bring our feet in. So we're going to do a wide step and in. A wide step and in. A wide step and in. a wide step and in, and back to regular marching. Good. All right, now we're gonna just take a pause there. So we're gonna do a little bit of a squat, or as if we're gonna sit down. So we're gonna first just stand up nice and tall, arms out nice and wide, fingers nice and wide, thinking that you're pulling up through the center of your spine here. We're gonna take a little bend as if we're gonna sit down on our seat, but we're only gonna go halfway, and we're gonna stretch out. And then we're gonna come up nice and tall here. Perfect. We're gonna try that again. Out, and then up nice and tall. Keep doing that. I'm just gonna show an option for sitting. So if you're sitting down, you can lean forwards and then stretch out. Lean forwards, stretch out. We'll do one more. Excellent. Okay, now we're going to have our knees a little bit bent, feet nice and wide so you're nice and balanced. Hands on your knees, and we're going to give a big stretch up to one side, a little bit like Superman, Superwoman. So we're going to give it a little bit of a stretch up, all the way right to our fingertips, stretch those fingers out nice and wide. We're going to come down. We're going to go the other side. Stretch out. Both arms out in a diagonal. We're going to come down. Let's keep doing that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Let's just shake it off a little bit. Good. Now we're going to do a little bit of a heel tap. So we can do this standing, but I want you to be very careful. You're going to put your heel forward and bring it back. We're going to put our heel forward and bring it back. If you prefer to do this sitting, that's absolutely fine. We're going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to stretch our heel forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. We can add a little flick with our hands. Flick with our hands. A little bit more force. There. There. We're going to do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Okay, let's just, again, have a little bit of a shake out. So what we're going to do now, we can sit or we can stand. We're going to stretch across. We're going to twist around. We're going to twist around here. And again, if we're sitting, we can just twist and twist. Twist and twist. We can do 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then just come to sit down again. Hopefully everyone's doing okay. We're going to do just a gentle march on the spot now. Still want big steps, but just a little bit of a slower pace. That's it. And a nice stretch out. Just hold that for a couple of seconds and then come back in. And a nice stretch out and come back in. We'll do 1 more each side, stretching and stretching. And then we're going to do a stretch up and a stretch up. 1 more to each side. And there. And then a big stretch over our heads. Nice deep breath in and out. And 1 more. In and out. And well done, everyone.
Thank you, Michelle. I hope everyone's joints are feeling a little bit looser after that. And after all that hard work of exercising, you're ready for our next set of talks. I'm really pleased today to introduce 2 special guests that we have that are joining us from the Parkinson Society BC, Alexandra Fernandez and Kelly Felgenhauer. Alexandra graduated from the University of Toronto with an honors Bachelor of Science degree, specializing in health and disease, genetics, and immunology. And she now works at PSBC as an education and support service coordinator, specializing in support groups and information and referral services. And Kelly graduated from Simon Fraser University here in the Lower Mainland with a Bachelor of Science degree, majoring in biological sciences. And she now works at PSBC as an education and support service coordinator, specializing in education events and in information and referral services. So please warmly welcome Kelly and Alexandra.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kelly. Thank you, Samantha, for the introduction. So we're from the Parkinson Society of BC, and our mission here is to empower people with Parkinson across British Columbia, providing services for everyone, including self-management to enhance self-reliance and as well as self-advocacy. So a little bit about us. We are governed by our volunteer board of directors, supported entirely by donations, and every person who's affected by Parkinson's disease know that they're not alone. And we are committed to offering support services, sharing reliable information and resources, as well as fundraising for programs and research as well. So here's an overview of our program services. So we have support services, which include support groups, activities, sessions, webinars. We also have a few communications following workshops across BC, as well as our regional conferences. And then we have our educational activities, so providing educational webinars on topics which are relevant to people with Parkinson. And we also offer active living, which are activity programs to enhance daily life living skills. And to go further in our support services, we have our one-on-one consultation, which are sort of like an information and referral line where you can call in and we can provide you with resources and answering any of the questions that you might have. We also have our counseling program and our physiotherapy, as well as healthcare navigation. These programs are free of charge. The intake process, you reach out to us, we do an intake and place you on our waiting list. Our current wait list, I believe, is about 4 to 5 weeks. And we also offer support groups as well as PD Link program. And PD Link program is essentially a one-on-one connection program where you will be matched up with another volunteer who also have Parkinson. And the meeting will be arranged between two. It's for peer-to-peer support. Next up, we have our education. So this again includes a webinar, provincial conference. We have regional conferences now, as well as our lending library in which you can borrow books to read about on Parkinson. And we also have our information and referral line that's available anytime during our working hours. And next up, we have our active living, so social activities, as well as virtual exercises hosted by our physiotherapists. And yeah, now I pass it over to Alex.
Thank you, Kelly. So now common challenges for people with Parkinson's can include mobility, like gait issues, tremor, physiological or psychological stress, and low mood, as well as some other more mental non-motor symptoms like cognitive decline and social disconnection or isolation. So what PSBC does is we have certain social, physical, and mental activities used to tackle some of these challenges. We have drumming like dopa beats. We also have other ones like exercise classes, led by our physiotherapists, as well as other physiotherapists across BC. We also have Songshine, like singing classes, and other ones like Coffee Connect. And these activities are all virtual, so you can join from the comfort of your home. We also provide some services for healthcare professionals. So I've highlighted here one today that you can also inform your like healthcare professional about, and it's our PD Connect referral program. So if you don't know where to start and want to get in touch with our society, a good way to kind of connect with us is telling your like physician about us and about this referral, and they will fill out the information, fax it over to us, and we'll get in touch with you, and we break down all of our services, all of our resources one-on-one with you. So if you kind of hear something but might not remember it after this like webinar today, you can always kind of bring this PD Connect idea to your physician, and we'll kind of start from zero with you and also provide other resources or services that may be helpful for your situation. You can also volunteer with us. We have Super Walk every year. So PSBC leads the one downtown Vancouver at Stanley Park, but we also have several across the BC province. And you can also become an advocacy ambassador. And then one program that is brand new that I wanted to highlight here today is our Youth Connect program, which is for young adults that have a relative or family member with Parkinson's. We understand that this may be a population that's underserved across BC. So if you have a niece, a nephew, son, daughter, kind of within this age range that might be interested, it's on our website, and you can just register directly and get to know more. It'll be kind of a hybrid of online support group, but also in-person meeting to kind of have that social connection as well. Like Kelly mentioned, PSBC relies solely on donations. So all of the services you heard today were completely free or are completely free for you. And yeah, this is our website, phone number, Instagram, Facebook, everything to connect with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alexandra and Kelly, and thank you to all of our presenters today for sharing all the resources available in our community and for all your enthusiasm and support of both people living with Parkinson's and everyone around them, including family members. I'm going to switch gears just a little bit before we close off for today and draw your attention to a few research opportunities that we have to get involved with and to support progress in treatment and care for people living with Parkinson's. So I'm going to start with an overview of some studies that we have here at UBC that are recruiting right now. And any person who participates in these studies is going to help us get a little bit closer to our goals of understanding Parkinson's risk and prevention, getting earlier and more accurate diagnoses, as well as managing symptoms and developing treatments. Some of the potential benefits of participating in research studies include getting a feeling of empowerment by being a bit more proactive. You can connect with a community of other people living with Parkinson's. You may get access to new tools and treatments that are in development. And most importantly, you will be contributing to help the next generation of individuals to live well with Parkinson's. Now on to a few research opportunities that we're recruiting for here at the UBC Movement Disorders Clinic. I'm going to divide this a little bit into different kinds of studies that we have. We have some diet and lifestyle focused studies that have different fun activities that you can try, as well as observational studies. And I'm going to be putting up the contact information for each of these studies on the slides here if you want to find out more. And as a reminder as well, this session is being recorded and will be posted to our website, so you can always find this information later on. So first up, we have several diet and lifestyle related studies. Melanie already mentioned that we have the PD diet study, which is looking at the microbiome in Parkinson's disease over the course of 18 months. We also have a probiotic study recruiting right now, which is looking at the effects of taking probiotics over a 12-week period to address depressive symptoms in Parkinson's. And on the lifestyle side, we've got a study where you get to listen to your own Spotify playlist and see if that helps to alleviate any symptoms of apathy felt in Parkinson's. We also have a couple studies that are recruiting people with Parkinson's and also people without Parkinson's, if you have a spouse or a friend that might be interested. One of them is the Brain Energetics in Parkinson's study, which is looking at how exercise affects brain activity. And we also have a very exciting multimodal nutrition, exercise, and mindfulness study called Impact 360, where we have cohorts of people who have Parkinson's and people who don't have Parkinson's participating. We're also running a number of observational studies, and these are studies where we collect things like brain images, data, or biological samples, but you don't have to do anything extra other than providing us with some of this information. There is a study running for people that have genetic variants in the GBA gene, and this is recruiting folks whether or not they have been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. And it's looking at brain scans and involves clinical assessments. We have a study looking at the microbiome in REM sleep behavior disorder, which is a condition that can sometimes be seen with Parkinson's disease. And it's looking at changes in the gut over time. We also have a study called the CAMERA study, which is working on developing technologies for automated monitoring of Parkinson's symptoms at home that may be able to supplement neurologist visits. Finally, we have a couple of studies on the observational side, which are also recruiting people with and without Parkinson's. We have the PD biomarker study, which is a brand new one, just started up. And this also involves remote monitoring of Parkinson's symptoms, but it has an optional skin punch biopsy component and an optional data banking component as well. And we also have a Bjorn Mahler research repository, which is a collection of biological samples, as well as clinical and lifestyle data that can be used to support future studies on both Parkinson's disease and healthy aging. And I also wanted to highlight a few different websites where there's research opportunities beyond just UBC. First of all, you can check out the UBC Center for Brain Health website to see what's happening with brain research across BC. The Reach BC platform is also another great website to find research studies recruiting all over the province for all kinds of different conditions. We also have the Vancouver Coastal Health Research Institute website, which posts studies that are recruiting in the local Vancouver area. Going out to a bigger scope, we have the Michael J. Fox Foundation website, and this covers Parkinson's studies all across North America. And also you can check out clinicaltrials.gov to find clinical studies that are all over the world. And I wanted to share a few other opportunities for Parkinson's specific programs and education, including some of the ones that were mentioned in today's webinar. So a new one that we didn't talk about is called PD Avengers. And this is a global alliance of people living with Parkinson's, as well as their partners and their friends. And everyone in PD Avengers is combining efforts together to influence how Parkinson's is seen and treated, and to really build a sense of urgency to end Parkinson's one day. They have a website called pdavengers.com, and you can find out more information about their organization there. And you can also find some locations for an annual event that they do called Spark the Night, where they're going to be lighting up all sorts of landmarks, buildings all around the world to celebrate World Parkinson's Day and to symbolize unity and support and visibility for the Parkinson's community. You can also check out the website for the Pacific Parkinson's Research Center at parkinsons.ubc.ca/research, which has some more information on some of the work that we're doing that you've heard about today, and how you can get involved. And to find out more information on the BC Brain Wellness Program, you can check out their website at bcbrainwellness.ca. And last but not least, you heard about Parkinson's Society BC today, and their website is up here as well, which is parkinson.bc.ca. And you can find out more about their programs and education on there. So this concludes the webinar portion of our presentation. Thank you so much for listening. But before everyone heads out, I have a couple exciting things to announce. So we're going to be having a draw where we're giving away a copy of a book called Ending Parkinson's Disease, A Prescription for Action. And in this book, there's 4 top experts who are the authors, and they are providing a plan to help prevent Parkinson's, to improve care and treatment, and to end the silence associated with Parkinson's. So everyone who is here today, both online and in person, has been entered into a draw, and we're going to be selecting one winner randomly. But just to keep everybody's privacy, we're not going to announce it here, but we're going to reach out to you after the presentation by email. So with that, I want to give a huge thank you again to all of our speakers here today, to our event planning committee, and to everyone working both in front of and behind the scenes for really just supporting our community of people with Parkinson's, as well as working to end it, hopefully one day. Thank you so much for coming here today, whether you're in person or online, and taking the time to learn more about Parkinson's and to commit to living well with it. And hopefully you felt a little bit more informed or empowered after attending today's session. And hopefully you'll get the chance to enjoy some treats later today, enjoy some fun artistic moments with our workshop out online. So those of you who are joining us online today, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day and enjoy the sunshine. And those of you in person, feel free to stick around afterwards. The presenters will be here for a little bit to answer questions. And of course, we'll have all our information tables and activities outside in the atrium and in the lobby as well. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.